First and foremost, we must protect public and higher education. Utah has long been committed to funding our public schools, our colleges, and our universities, and our technical institutions. In fact, few states in the country spend as much of their overall budgets on education as we do. Our unique demographics, which is a way of saying we have larger families, means we must continue this tradition to support and to maintain and to enhance the solid education and training our students receive. In spite of our difficult budget situation, I call upon you, our great legislators, to maintain our current level of commitment to education. Thank you. Secondly, we must balance our budget responsibly and in a way that does not stifle an economy that is finally beginning to show signs of recovery. We need to support our hardworking citizens and businesses, not stifle them with new tax burdens. We need to help them succeed, not hamper their success. And we need to think toward the future, not just today. We can accomplish this, and the budget that I have submitted to you offers a framework of how it can be done. At this point in time, I strongly believe that the best thing we can do for our state, for our citizens, and for our economic recovery is to exercise continued fiscal restraint and to not raise taxes. There are many positive things happening throughout the state. Utah continues to be one of the best states for business. Whether it's a small family-owned company like PZ Printing in Carbon County, a cutting-edge medical device manufacturer like Edwards Life Sciences, or an international company like Procter & Gamble in Box Elder County, businesses have confidence in Utah as a safe and a dynamic place to grow and to invest. A key area of emphasis for my administration is growing businesses from within. I am pleased that the majority of our economic development efforts over the past 2 years have been centered on protecting and expanding Utah businesses. Just last month, MediConnect Global, a homegrown medical record management firm, announced it would expand its operations in Sanpete County. This expansion will add more than 300 full-time positions to Ephraim over the next several years. This is but one example of what is happening right now in Utah. A healthy economy is critical to Utah's unparalleled quality of life. But another factor that makes living in the Beehive State so rewarding is our access to some of the best health care in the nation. Our medical professionals and hospitals are widely recognized as among the best in the country. We understand that public access to these services is critical. Rather than simply talk, or more accurately sometimes fight about health care reform, Utah has stepped forward with solutions. Thanks to the efforts of medical professionals, citizens like John T. Nielsen, Lieutenant Governor Greg Bell, and legislative leaders like Speaker Dave Clark, the Utah Health Exchange is now open for business. This Utah crafted solution is an innovative approach to control costs, to increase access, and to expand choice. Already hundreds of Utahns have coverage and plans that they have chosen for themselves. This is a revolutionary approach to health benefits that will soon be available to even more Utahns. Our exchange is simply one example of how states can and should lead the nation on health care reform. We don't want, we don't need a one-size-fits-all program that will balloon our national deficit and provide questionable care for our citizens. Several weeks ago, I traveled to Washington, D.C. and met with top leaders in Congress and at the White House. I strongly emphasized that the federal government should not do what state governments are already doing well in areas such as health care. The continued encroachment of the federal government into our businesses and into our lives and into our pocketbooks must be challenged. The voices of fiscal restraint and responsibility on critical issues like health care cannot be ignored. We simply can't spend what we don't have, and the tax and spend mindset that is so prevalent in Washington is not acceptable here in Utah. Our government closest to the people is the most effective. I've been fortunate to serve at that local level. For the past several years, I've had this privilege of serving in state government. Over those years, I have worked with hundreds of hard-working public employees and elected officials who carry out their duties with with honesty and integrity. Very seldom have I encountered situations where the ethics of those who hold the public trust has been called into question. Still, breaches do occur, and questions do arise. Often better clarity would have provided better guidance. To set that standard for the executive branch, today I signed an executive order that reaffirms and clarifies guidelines about accepting gifts, participating in lobbying efforts, and identifying conflicts of interest. This session, I encourage you as lawmakers to remove any perception of possible ethical issues by implementing meaningful and substantive ethics reform. I know that the work is already underway on these bills, and I look forward to signing them into law this session. There's also good news tonight for drivers. Congestion will soon be reduced on your daily commute. Construction will begin this year on the expansion of I-15 in Utah County and the Mountain View corridor in southern Salt Lake County. And road and bridge improvements are taking place from Brigham City to St. George. Our investment in a solid transportation network will help eliminate congestion on roads and highways, saving time and money for businesses and commuters. It will also improve opportunities for mass transit. But with a growing population, we must do even more. Thousands of additional cars and trucks on the roads each year leads to higher levels of air pollution, especially along the Wasatch Front and in beautiful Cache Valley. Later this week, elected officials from across the state will join Salt Lake City Mayor Ralph Becker and me on these capital steps as we address our air quality issues. We're going to ask for your help, because this isn't a partnership between government and people, it's between